Are you familiar with the Biolab that was discovered in Reedley, California, that was set up with links to China?
I'm familiar with it.
This was discovered last year or maybe even sooner, and there were all kinds of pathogens there. It was actually set up by an international fugitive named Jesse Zhu, who's currently under federal indictment. Local officials found pathogens like E. coli, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, HIV, malaria, and others. And yet when local officials reached out to the CDC for help, they refused to provide it. This is from a report from the Select Committee on the Chinese Communist Party. It says, based on their initial observation in March 2023, local officials began to reach out to additional federal authorities for assistance. Local officials spent months repeatedly trying to obtain assistance from the CDC, but the CDC refused to speak with them. And on a number of occasions, it was reported by local officials that the CDC hung up on them mid-conversation. So why didn't the CDC come in and try to help when local officials discovered this situation?
I don't think that's an accurate representation of what CDC has done.
They did. You disagree with the committee's report?
I don't think it's an accurate description of what CDC has done.
I see. Did the CDC test the samples they found at the lab?
I'd have to get back to you on what the CDC precisely did.
Because according to the report here, the local officials asked them to test these samples, these dangerous pathogens, and they didn't do so. Does that sound inaccurate to you?
I think you're leaving out a good part of the story.
What part is that?
I'd have to get back to you because I don't have a direct understanding right now. Again, I came to testify about budget, but I can get back to you and let you know what CDC did or didn't do.
Do you have confidence right now that there aren't similar labs with links to the Chinese Communist Party in the United States?
Recognizing that these labs are licensed by the states, the 50 states, and not by the federal government, it'd be difficult for me to answer that question. The states don't work for me.
Well, I mean, but you do have responsibility for public health in this country. And so right now, as the Secretary of Health and Human Services, do you have confidence that there aren't similar illegal biolabs like the one that was discovered in Reedley throughout this country?
I don't know what every state has in its governance rules for the establishment of some of these labs. So if the question is, do I have confidence that all the states are doing the right thing? I'd have to say, probably not.